There we go. Hit the record button. We are going to go ahead and start the live over here in Inspired Nation. I believe we've got everything up and going on all the channels. My goal tonight is to stay in camera view on both cameras so that everybody can see what it is that I'm doing. So as we're waiting for everyone to get logged in tonight, we're going to be talking about the 5 levels of referrals. Let me log in here. There we go. I want to make sure I can see those comments as they're coming in. Okay, so we'll make sure and watch the comments over here on Inspired Nation. So you guys, I can see your comments live. So if you're on Inspired Nation, make sure and do that. I'll stop in between it and look and make sure any of the comments to answer them. If not, then I'll make sure and address them afterwards because we want to make sure and help everyone, especially on tonight's topic. Tonight's topic is pretty important. It's the foundation to everything that we train. And it's really about exposing everyone to the idea that there's multiple ways in which that you can grow your business. If you're just joining us for the very first time, I am Amy D. Kilpatrick. I am the founder or co-founder of Inspired Business Solutions, and also been the one that's created the Inspired Activator program. And so it takes a team. So there's a team of Inspired strategists. Sometimes you'll see them pop onto our Facebook pages and they'll answer questions. So if you see Julia Hoyle or Abby Boyd or David Crumball, they're out there on our Inspire team, and they're here to also assist you and answer any questions that you might have. So I see you guys are jumping on. As we get started, I'm going to challenge all of you. Put down in the comments, and like I said, I'd love to go back and read these later, but where are you at when it comes to referrals? How long have you been doing referral marketing? How much of your business is driven from referrals? How many of you wish you had referrals? You know, if you wish you had referrals, put me a heart thing out there saying yes, that is something that you wish that you could create for your business. I get this a lot of times. I'll have people when I'm out at networking events and they find out what I'm doing, and they'll go, oh, well, I already get referrals. And I'm like, oh, that's great, you know, and I'll say, well, where do you get them from? And they go, oh, you know, word of mouth. And I'm like, okay. And then I'll try to, you know, it's always a game for me. I'll try to dig a little deeper and I'll go, okay, well, so is it coming from clients? Is it coming from, you know, who do you get them from? Oh, yeah, clients. Clients is who send them to me. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, so what's your strategy? Because it sounds like you're pretty successful at driving referrals to your business. So what's your strategy? Yeah, nothing, right? Because I'll get that a lot of you may have established your business, and over time you have created credibility that are driving word of mouth referrals to your business. But wouldn't it be neat if you could actually know that you have a strategy in place that is going to drive referrals to you, and that there really is a, you know, there is a system to it. And so it doesn't have to be happen chance. It doesn't have to be something that you think word of mouth is coming in your business, or you know, you don't have to wait 20, 30 years for being in business for it to be, you know, all word of mouth. You know, you don't have to wait that long. And so one of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight, as we are continuing the series here of unlocking the power of referral marketing, is how you can generate 5 levels or 5 different types of referrals for your business. And the reason why I teach this is because years ago when I began training referral marketing, it drove me crazy when people, one, they weren't seeing the same success that I was seeing driving referrals to my business. And so I began to, it's where the training all came from, I began to sit down with other professionals that were in my network, and I was like, well, let's talk about what you're doing and what you're saying, and like where your referrals are coming from and what type of referrals. And what I found was that people were really looking at referrals in, you know, such a small measure of what they could have. And we're going to talk about that. To me, they were looking at level 1 and level 2, and no one was really, you know, asking for any levels of referrals beyond that. And then what I found too is what a lot of people were like, oh, well, that's a referral, that's a referral. You know, there's, to me, what I call a generational referral, and referrals that are actively, you know, I'm actively driving to me for the first time. And I'll explain the difference between those in just a moment. And so I began to break down all the different ways that I was driving referrals to my business, and what was the word choices that I was using in order to create those opportunities for me. And this is kind of where this program came from, because I truly feel that if you can understand the different ways that you can explore, and you're going to find for some of you that you're going to love level 3 and level 4, and then some of you are going to be going, level 4 is not for me, based on my industry, based on my personality style, and you know, and that's fine. But understanding that it's out there and there's other ways that you can potentially grow your business, I love being able to show this and teach it. What I also love is that if you're new to referral marketing, or you're watching this for the first time because you're just trying to explore really, well, who is this Amy chick that I'm on this group, on this Facebook chick for? I get that. But what if you're at the very beginning of growing your business, or maybe you've always been what I call an order taker, like sales have been so easy for you, and maybe you're in a different industry now, or you're in a new community, so you don't have the same network that you had before. You're in a different product or service, so you need to roll out a different way of growing your business. Most of my clients are terrified of cold calls. So I will tell you, the majority of the clients that I work with, they either hate paying for leads, okay? They're, you know, that is just the bane of their existence. And it's like, if I could eliminate that expense of paying for leads, or just that leads are brought to them, and then by the time they've chased them down to see if they could warm them up, you know, what I say is they're starting at the higher level of the sales funnel. And you know, we all know what happens with a sales funnel. Like, I always think of it more of as like a tornado. Things can just be thrown out, you know. And so here we are chasing this lead, and it's not always obviously going to go to close. And so my goal is what if we can get you at a different starting point in that sales funnel, and therefore increase the chance of, you know, increasing your closing opportunity. And I'm using the word opportunity very, very strategically here, because I have a lot of people who think that referrals automatically equal closed business, and we're going to definitely cover that in just a moment. But the biggest thing is that a lot of people who are intrigued with referral marketing are because either they're tired of paying for leads, like I said, they hate cold calling. And I'm going to tell you, those two things right there for me, you know, would have done it for me right there. I hated and still hate cold calling. It's not my gift. You know, I always tell people, if I had to live off of trying to sell myself or my product or services, I'm not sure I'd be here today. It's something that takes me out of my comfort zone, and it doesn't matter how many tips or tricks or techniques that are out there. You know, I've listened to them, I've done them, but it still doesn't overcome that anxiety of my, you know, my throat closing, my hands sweating. I feel stupid. What do I say? And look, if you want to explore cold calling, lead generation, I've got some great referrals for you, but that's not me. I'm not here to teach you any of that. But also, people come to me is when they have a limited budget and they don't necessarily have the means to pay for traditional advertising. And for a lot of people think that because I train referral marketing that I'm anti-advertising, and that's not the case. I'm anti-stupid advertising. I'm anti-throwing your money away and you don't know where it's going or the results it's going to drive to you. I think it's crazy to pay someone else to design your marketing program and you not understand who your target market is. That you're letting them make assumptions on where you want to put your message or how you want to put your message. I think you should be in control, and whether that's social media marketing, branding, advertising, print, radio, whatever it is, you should know your target market and how you want to reach them. So word of mouth marketing really is, you got to be able to communicate with people regardless on how to help them, help you grow your business. So what we're going to talk about tonight, because obviously we broke the series of, I could train and train and train and train on referral marketing. So we broke these up into small segments. And so tonight what we're going to talk about is the 5 levels of referrals, the 5 levels of referrals that you can generate for your business and generate for your referral partner. So remember, the whole thing is to be able to generate, what I call referral generators, people who want to partner up with you and be a part of your success story. And if you're new to referral marketing, you're going, that would be great, Amy. I would love to have people who wanted to refer me. Just stay tuned. I promise you, night after night or day after day, as I share these tips, you're going to see that it's not just this dream out there. You can actually achieve a referral marketing strategy that can build a sustainable business growth plan for your business. But you got to understand the foundations. You have to understand how it works, because a lot of people just jump into referral marketing and they join things, or they go to networking activities, or they'll set up meetings, and without realizing it, they're actually tripping themselves up. They're sabotaging themselves. They're using the wrong words. They've got the wrong approach. And I'm hoping through these trainings that I can share with you guys just, all the years of my experience of doing it, when I say doing it wrong, doing it backwards, doing it, every way, to really come down to what works. So let's get into the 5 levels of referrals. So I would strongly encourage you, if you're going to follow this series over the next couple of weeks, go ahead and start to a notebook where you can take notes on the things that I'm training on. But this is the 5 levels of referrals tonight. The first one, well, let me talk about real quick what the point I was making about referrals. Know that referrals are opportunities, okay? They're never a guarantee. So referrals are opportunities. So tonight is about driving opportunities to your business. Now, I believe that you can, if you do this right and learn it very effectively, then the opportunities that you draw to yourself or you create for others can actually be closer to your ideal client base, if not your ideal client base, than the shotgun approach, okay? So if you're finding yourself out there, okay, Amy, I am doing referral marketing, but I'm not really seeing the type of referrals I want to look for, I can guarantee you it's word choice. It is the words you are using and probably who you're surrounding yourself with. So but let's start with your word choice to begin with. Let's start with the mindset that referrals are an opportunity. They're never a guarantee. And that leads us straight into a level 1 referral. So a level 1 referral for me is, if you think about your network, and networks come in different shapes and forms and sizes, okay? It can be an open network that you participate in where it's not limited based on membership, it's not limited based on industry, it's not limited based on, anything that would allow people just to register and come. So basically it's an open networking environment. It could be a mix and mingle, a lunch and learn. It could even be an organization who's hosting an open networking opportunity. Another open networking opportunity, it could be smaller, so don't always think it has to be big, but it could be things like your family, your Sunday school class, your the bleachers at a ball game, okay? It's basically look around and figure out, like, who am I socializing with? Who am I putting myself out there that know you as a business professional, okay? And there's a whole nother lesson I could teach on about the bleachers, the sideline, mom and dad. But I always say, I can do a whole lesson on being Zachary and Austin's mom on the bleachers versus being Amy Kilpatrick, and what a difference that makes. And not that I'd pass up my business cards at a ball game, but it sure is nice to be known not only as Zachary and Austin's mom, but who I am as an individual and as a professional. So think about within your network, there are people that you may need or use their services and vice versa, okay? So within your network, you have a challenge and someone else offers the solution, or vice versa. Someone else has the challenge and you offer the solution. And so this is what I call definitely an inside or an internal referral, okay? An inside referral. And this is inside your network. And so the one thing I always tell everybody, if you're, some networks, it's very obvious what people do and why you're there and the purpose of the meeting. But when we get into some of those other networking activities I was talking about, the ones that are more on the personal side, we're not always aware of who is in our network, what they do. Okay, so if you're watching this, one of the first things I would do is I would come up with a list of where all do you go? Who all do you associate with? It could be a quilting club. It could be your golf group on a Sunday afternoon. You know, what is your network? And so inside your network, there's always an opportunity for someone to need your product or services. But one of the things I always tell everyone is be careful with this, because just because someone is inside your network, there is no reason for them to feel like they have to use you, okay? And trust me, I've trained this in closed groups for years where people felt like within that group, everyone in that room, because I joined and because I'm in here, everyone in this room should become my client. And here's the way it sneaks up on people. They'll use words like, well, try me first so you can refer me, or everyone in the room, you know, can use my product or services, or everyone. And that's such a dangerous place to go in your thought process, because one, you're assuming that no one else out there has any other contacts in their life. You're assuming that they have no other loyalties prior to being in that network. Or that they have family members that do what you do, or the fact that they may not actually need your product or services. And here's the ego part. They may not want to do business with you. And it has nothing to do with whether or not you're great at what you do or whatever. You know, sometimes I would tell people it's just a chemistry thing. You know, different people gravitate towards different people. So to go in and put these ultimatums or these boundaries around your network, you're so limiting yourself, and you're setting yourself up for disappointment. You're setting yourself up for people wanting to avoid you because, you know, they don't want to have to tell you they don't want to use you. So one of the things I always do is I always put it out there. If I can take care of you enough and you have a challenge, obviously I would welcome the opportunity to see if what I do would be a solution for you. But if you're in my network and that never happens, it's okay. Instead, I look at everyone in my network as a resource rather than as a transaction. So when I get a level 1 referral, I always keep in mind that it is a privilege. One, if they even want to sit down with me to discuss the referral, but definitely two, if it actually does go to closed business and we become, you know, they become a client of mine. So the key word here, I always say, is privilege, to keep in mind. The other one here is to understand that this, if it does go to close, is a transactional referral, which, yes, we love transactional referrals. Like, think about it. Within your network, how many of you have had the privilege to take care of someone's challenge? And so if this is you and you can think of someone, in your network, put it in the comments, say, yes, I have had the privilege of taking care. I guess if they're here in Inspired Nation, thank them, say thank you for your business. Thank you for trusting me to take care of you. Do that shout out. But understand that when I train referral marketing, yes, I acknowledge this because most people, this is their first thing that they think of when they join something or they walk into the room. Like they walk in and immediately see floating above that person's head dollar signs. And, I've had people literally tell me, well, if I could just close business in this room alone, I will reach my quota for the year. Okay, well, that's great. Well, what about next year? And what if you have a product or service that, is 10 years or 20 years before I need it again? Or what if your product or service isn't even for half the people in the room? And so this is just, again, just such a limiting thought process that this is one of the ways that you can grow your business. And yet, most people, when I talk to them about referral marketing, only get to level 1 or level 2 when we begin to talk. And so if this is kind of where you've been, and this is your version of referral marketing, I'm actually going to challenge you to focus on 2 down, okay? Because this may be automatically happening for you, which it does for me. I have to say, there's some people in my network that are clients, and I love my clients who are also referral generators with me and for me, and I get to be for them, right? But this isn't my sole purpose of getting out there inside my network. Now, a level 2. We're going to call this an outside. And what I mean by this is when one of your referral generators, okay, someone inside your network, so this is a referral generator also, someone inside your network, when someone inside your network actually refers you to your target market, someone outside the network, someone that they know, someone they've ran into, someone that their clients, their family, their friends, maybe they've heard, they're in a position to hear your trigger words, and they have met this person. You want to meet this person because this person has the challenge that you offer the solution to. However, you are not in this conversation. Your referral generator is. And so your referral generator, if you train them right, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about in here, is how do you take a referral generator through wanting, willing, and able to get them to refer you to that target market when they use your trigger words, like when they show, that they need your product or services. The one thing I want you to think about here is the key word that you need to be using when you're asking and training for a level 2 is that this key word is recommend. Okay? You want to be recommended right here. Now, the thing I want you to think about with this one is this is also a transactional referral, because this person right here has the potential to pay you. Now, let me get another color here. We need some more colors. This person, if we do it right, is your ideal target market. Your ideal target market, not just any target market, right? Like we want to train our referral generators to really listen for our trigger words, and we want to train them what our ideal client base looks like. So, I mean, we're actually going to talk about this in one of the upcoming segments, but one of the things that I want to talk about is if you're going to train people to bring you what you want, why not train them to bring you what you want exactly how you want them? This is my ideal client base. Yes, people with skin can use my product or services, but I want people with skin who has the challenge of this, or in our case, one of the things that we say with Inspired, that to be an ideal client for us, they have to come with a forward attitude. Like it has to be a positive forward attitude to become a client of Inspired's, because we know that that's a necessary skill set that they have to have in order to achieve the goals that we're going to help them reach. And so an outside referral that's generated from a referral generator with someone outside of the group. Keyword is recommend, because you want your product or services to be recommended to this person, okay? And then, of course, the third level of referrals, and this is one of the things that I say, and there's different ways that you guys are going to hear me use this terminology, but I'm going to call this a referral generator. But this one is someone who would be on your strategic alliance team, okay? So this would be a strategic alliance. Another word here to think about is that they're sharing your same target market. So if you know, one of the things I trained a couple of nights ago was the 3 different types of referral generators. And so the strategic alliance is one that they share, okay? They share the same target market as you, okay? And for most of you, if you're familiar with the Inspired, this is the Inspired Sunshine model, okay? You put your ideal client base in the middle, you begin to identify the other referral generators who also service this type of client base. And so when you're going and asking for referrals, one of the first things we train is you create this list of who it is that you believe could share going after the same target market as you. You create that list of industries and then look through your Rolodex. Who do you actually know that does that business? And then how often do you meet them? There's a whole little strategy to this whole thing, but here's the deal. If you are finding that you have industries listed, but you have no person there, wouldn't it be great to go into your network and instead of asking for people to use your product or service, instead change it to a great referral for me would be an introduction. An introduction. So I love the word introduce. Okay, that's your keyword here. An introduction to, and then you would let them know. Now, why is the difference between recommendation and introduction? You need to use the correct word here. Because if you stand up and say, hey, a great referral for me is someone, and you list the industry, and you fail to clarify that it's a level 3 versus a level 2, your referral generator, and I have seen this over and over and over again, your referral generator, if they know that person, they're going to be so excited because they want to make this, this opportunity for you, and they will mistakenly go to your target market and they will make a recommendation. And your target market's going, look, I don't need that service. I've already got it, or why would I buy that? Or we can do it ourselves, or whatever it is. And so what happens is this person's getting the no before you even get there, and you're going, no. I didn't want them to buy my product or service. That wasn't the referral I needed. I wanted to be introduced to them because I believe we share the same target market, and I would love to explore what a strategic or a referral generation relationship could possibly look like. And so I would like you to introduce me to the other person who owns that business, because I believe I could help them grow their business. And so here's the difference. The first time you were possibly recommending my product or services to someone who may not need it. The other time you're introducing me to another business professional that we could possibly build an alliance with one another to easily pass referrals back and forth, therefore creating a VIP experience for our clients. That's a huge difference between the way you generate those referrals for yourself. I will tell you right here and right now, if all you do with referral marketing is to get to level 3, work your level 3s. This is something that will feed your business over and over and over again. when you can surround yourself. It doesn't even have to be 100 people. In fact, I tell anywhere between 5 and 10 truly dedicated strategic alliance partners who are going in the same direction as you. If you could train them how to bring you up properly and how you guys can begin, this leads us into level 4, joint market with one another. It is amazing when people begin to recognize that they don't have to go out there and be solopreneurs. You can surround yourself with people. Yes, you can surround yourself with a network, but I've seen some pretty alone people in a big network. What I'm challenging you to do is surround yourself with people who are going in the same direction as you, who want to work with each other and find creative ways to recommend each other to each other's clients. That is what I believe you can do for your business. The fourth one here is what I call joint workshops. So if you like holding workshops, I'm going to explain all these too. It could be joint or just individual. Speaking engagements. Okay, speaking engagements. So a level 4, what I always tell everybody, think of a level 4 this way, and it's going to be different for each one of you because based on your industry and based on your personality style. I can guarantee you a level 4 for an introvert is going to look completely different than a level 4 for an extrovert, someone who's comfortable on the stage versus someone who likes a small group environment. So here's the way I want you to think about this. This is where you have the opportunity to be in front of a room full of your target markets, okay? So here's you. And you have the opportunity to be in front of a room full of your ideal target market. What does that look like? For some of you, that's a small group. If it can even be a joint workshop with one of your referral generators. It could be a speaking engagement. It is amazing to me how many people who have been in my network who have the goal to be a speaker and yet no one in the room knew that. Like, you got to be prepared to tell people, you know, this would be a great opportunity for me. I feel absolutely comfortable speaking in front of a room full of women, in front of, you know, a room full of, I had the privilege this last 2 weeks ago or the past week to speak in front of a room full of mortgage lenders and originators. Like, that's a great level 4 for me because I had a room full of potential ideal target markets for me. I also, you know, when I can speak in front of a room full of real estate agents, when I can speak in front of a room full of business professionals who are in charge of growing their own business. So everybody's a little different. How big that room is and the format that is, you have to have that understanding what that looks like. But here's the deal. If you never train for it, you never ask for it, it's the boomerang effect. What you throw out there is what you're going to get back. So if you keep your mouth shut and you never tell anybody what that looks like, odds are you probably haven't gotten that referral, right? So one of the things that I always say when I'm right here is that you want to be asking people, let me get my color straight here, to generate this opportunity for you. Ask people if they're on boards, on committees who are picking the speakers. Ask people, have they ever spoke before at an event and who was the event coordinator? Or maybe you have your workshop or joint workshop already set up and your level 4 could be educating your network who you would like in the room. Okay, so if they could generate the opportunity and help you promote the event, that would be a great level 4 referral for you. It's a multiple level 2s, multiple target markets where you're the expert in your field. And then level 5 is a little tricky, and I'm gonna, it depends on the different type of networks that you're in. And so I always like to train this 2 different ways, and some of you will be able to use both ways, some of you one or the other. So just know that. So this one here is either going to potentially be a guest or a visitor, or what I call a prospective referral generator. But this is more when you want to think about your network, okay? So I know that a lot of you, like I said, you could be involved in a large network, you can be involved in a small network, but all networks at one time or another will see the ebb and flow of people coming and going, okay? So if you're given a chance in your network to educate people who else you would like in your network, in other words, you have the right to invite. You might be an ambassador on the joining committee. You might be, doing an open enrollment like we are coming up with the Strategic Power Partners. And so you all get a chance to say, here's who I would like to come in here. Now, there may still be a board that makes the final decision on who gets in, but you're at least, I always say, I'm fixing to give you the keyword, you're at least exposing your other network to those individuals or that individual to your network. Okay, so that's why the keyword here is exposure. Because when they visit your network, they're getting to meet everyone in your network. They're also getting to see you in a different light. If it's a client that you're bringing in, they're seeing you with a different hat. You got your working on your business versus working in your business mode going on. So you can invite, so here's the difference between a visitor and a guest. A visitor is someone who has the potential to join your network. A guest could be someone who is coming in that maybe the group, and this is some of the different ways we've used it, maybe the group would like their level of expertise. And so maybe you're inviting them in and they come in and share as a topical expert. They're not going to join the group. They're not there, but the group as a whole says, look, we're kind of weak in this area. If we could bring someone in that's really strong and can share their message with us, then that would be great for the entire group because we're moving forward. We're learning something. We're investing in ourselves. Sometimes you have to pay for this person, okay? Or this could be someone, this is another way to think about it. If you're noticing in your group, everyone says, a great opportunity for me or a great referral for me would be if I met the HR manager at a particular company. And then someone else said, yeah, that would be a great referral for me too. And then someone else says it. And you happen to know that person. And you're like, okay, you either have one or two choice. You could try to individually bring all three of those people at different times and make that recommendation to your friend, to your client, or you could invite that client to the meeting. Now, there's got to be a little strategy session before then, because this can't be, look, I'm going to walk them in the door and you guys are all going to pounce on them. That's not what's going to happen. But instead, you strategically figure out how you are going to introduce your guests to these amazing people that you would like them to meet, and you kind of make that introductory right there in front of them, and then you just kind of let things take place. So there's some very strategic ways you can bring a guest in, or have a guest as an expert topic, or bring a visitor in, especially if your network needs to be replenished with new expertise or new industries. So asking for that. Here's the deal. I can't stand it when people are in a network and they need it to grow and all the decisions are being made around them. And it's like, wait a minute. That is great if we get someone in this industry, and it's great if we get someone in this industry. But when I look around the room, I am lacking industries in here that are really good potential level 3s for me. And I have a list of people who I need to be surrounded with on a regular basis. So if I get a vote on who gets to be invited in here, can we invite some of these industries in here? And at that point, you are educating your group on who you would like to have brought in. And if it's a great group, everybody will work together to try to fill those gaps together with one another. Here are the 5 levels of referrals that I believe you can generate for your business. Here's a homework assignment. If you choose to accept, take this down and then go back and blank, have blanks. And I want you to write down what a level 2 referral for you looks like. What would that look like if someone was to generate that for you? Or when a level 2 referral has happened for your business, what did that look like? And I don't mean the one where you're like, oh, I got referred here and it wasn't your ideal client. I'm talking about the referral that you would love to repeat over and over and over again. And then level 3 here, referral generators. This exercise alone, and we're going to talk about this in the upcoming, but create your list of your ideal referral generators, your strategic alliance. Who would that be? And where do you stand on actually developing those? And then, of course, if you want to keep going, what would a level 4 for you look like? And then if you were to build a network, what would level 5 for you look like? Take that challenge, because when you begin to actually break this down, not just listen to me train on it, but actually break it down, it is amazing where you begin to recognize your gaps and where your strengths are. And then, of course, from that, we encourage you guys to all go out there and set up strategy sessions. And those are some great ways for you to begin to develop those prospective referral generators into actual referral generators. And that's for another topic. But tomorrow, the topic that's going to be on the take is actually that paradigm shift from shifting from sales mode into referral marketing mode. So having an understanding of where we want to go with the referrals, but then combine tomorrow with actually shifting our mindset with going from sales mode to referral mode. And I'll show you where referrals will actually land in that sales funnel. And I think you guys are going to be like, wait a minute, why am I chasing leads? Why am I making cold calls? When if I could just implement a referral marketing strategy, it puts me at a better place in the sales funnel, and it will increase your closing ratio. I hope you guys have enjoyed tonight. It ran a little bit longer than what I typically do, but this is such an important foundational part of referral marketing. I just felt it was so powerful to share this here tonight. Remember to leave your comments. If you're watching this back on replay, please put #replay. But more than that, I want to hear about your referral experience. How long have you been doing referral marketing? What type of referrals are you generating for your business? Is it a level 1, level 2, level 3? And of course, if I've shared something tonight that you found valuable, then share that too. Tell me where an aha moment is, something that you were like, gosh, I hadn't thought of it that way, even if you've been doing referral marketing for a long time. I'm Amy D. Kilpatrick, and I hope I've inspired you about referral marketing.